Okay, guys, good morning. So we shall start now. So let's start here, guys, everyone. So my name is Samir, and I'll be your faculty for this. And I have around 10 plus years of experience in IT. And presently, since the past 3 years, I'm working onto this cloud and on ADF and ADB is my the primary skill and primary skill for support. Okay. So that's it, guys. So now let us start and begin the things. So now, before we see this, let us try to understand, first of all, what is Azure data engineering is. Guys, Azure data engineering is nothing but, okay, Azure data engineering, okay, what is it? Azure data engineering is nothing but, it is a bunch of services. It's a bunch of, what is it? Cloud services provided by, okay, Azure data engineering. Okay, so guys, Azure data engineering, guys, Azure data engineering is a bunch of, what is it? All services. Okay, all cloud services, a bunch of what? All cloud services provided by the Microsoft, whereas such as the services as what? Data summarization, data summarization, data visualization, data summarization, and then we have data sorry, reporting, application of artificial intelligence on the data. Okay, all these are the various services. Just a minute, guys, please excuse me. Sorry, guys. So now the Azure data engineering is a bunch of all the services provided here. That means it consists of the data summarization, data visualization, data reporting, and application of the artificial intelligence and applying the machine learning techniques. Okay, and designing the algorithms. All these things is nothing but clubbed under the same. Under this Azure data engineering, we have the following services provided with the different names, What are those different names? Let us see all of them, okay, one by one. So guys, the first we can say as the ADB, which we call it as the Azure Databricks generally. And then we have, what is it? ADF, which we call it as the Azure Data Factory. And then we have, what is it? Synapse. We have, what is it? Synapse, Azure Synapse, you can say. Okay, then we can have, what is that? Machine learning. And then we can also have the AI, which stands for artificial intelligence, etc., etc. Whereas these are the various, okay, these are the various, various services provided under the services provided under the Azure data engineering. Okay, so under this, guys, all together is called as what? Combination. A combination of all together is called as what? Azure data engineering. Now, guys, today here we are here to understand what is an ADB. So, guys, so when we talk about the ADB, first of all, so I can abbreviate you the ADB with a name called Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. What are the names? You can say Azure Databricks. What is it? We can say it as what, guys? Azure Databricks. Okay. We can say it as what? Azure Databricks. We can say it as what? Azure Databricks. So what is Azure Databricks? Basically, Azure Databricks is nothing but this is a service. This is a service, guys. It is a service provided by Microsoft, to perform. It is a service provided by Microsoft to perform the job of yes, what is that? To perform the job of data summarization. To perform the job of data summarization. To perform the job of data summarization. So guys, what is it? Azure Databricks is a service provided by the Microsoft. Azure Databricks is a service provided by the Microsoft to perform the job of, yes, to perform the job of, what is that? To perform the job of, yes, guys, to perform the job of, that is nothing but data summarization. Whereas to perform this job of data summarization, everyone, to perform the job of this data summarization, here we have a technique provided. What is it? To perform the job of data summarization, here we have a technique provided. The technique is named or labeled with, what is that? The technique is named or labeled with, what is it? ETL. It stands for what, guys? Which stands for what? Named, and there is nothing but labeled with what? ETL, which stands for what? ETL, which stands for what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading. Whereas this is a technique provided by the, it is the technique here provided. Okay, this is the technique provided in order to perform the job of, ETL. In order to perform the job of, what is that? ETL. That is called as what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. And this particular technique is used for what? Data summarization. It is used for what, guys? Data summarization. Whereas when we talk about the ETL, as you know, the ETL stands for extraction, transformation, and loading. Here it requires two things. What is that? It requires a source, and then it requires a target. These are the two essential factors which is required to perform the job of ETL. That is, the first one is called as a source, and the next one is called as a target. When we talk about the source, guys, when we talk about the source, when we talk about the source, here when we talk about the source is what? The source is nothing but ultimately you can say the place where you find the data. The place where you find the data is called as a source. And whereas from the further part, so what happens here? The data will be put or here extracted. The data will be, what is it? Extracted. So the data will be extracted. Then after the extraction is done, the data is transformed as per the requirement of the end users, or we can say as per the requirement of the other users. Transformation is done, and once the transformation is done, the data will be loaded here. What is it? The data will be loaded. And after the loading is done, further the data is required here by whom? By the data scientist or by the data analyst. Data scientist or data analyst requires this data. So as per the requirement of the data scientist and data analyst, most of the times we perform the transformations. Most of the times we perform the transformation based on the requirement of the functional user, based on the requirement of the functional user. Okay, guys. So now let us try to understand in a more understandable format or understandable language what exactly the ETL is basically. Guys, what is ETL? Let us try to understand that. Okay. So why it is used, where it is used. Okay. So now, guys, I'll just put you forth here. What is it? So here you have it. What is it? ETL. So we have, what is it? ETL. So guys, for example, ETL is here. Now, guys, for example, let us take an example of a supermarket here. I'll just taking a big example, supermarket. We are having the supermarket data here. So the supermarket has provided the following data. There is nothing but 2 days data they have provided. Product ID, then product rate is there, the product quantity sold, product ID, product rate, product quantity sold. The next one, what is it? You have it? Date of sales. These are the things you have it. DOS. Product quantity is one, rate is, let us say, okay, guys, let us say some 100 rupees is the rate, 100 rupees is the rate, and the quantity is, let us say, 10 sold, and the date of sale is, let us say, 26th, 03 2023. That's it. 200, quantity sold is 20, 26, 03 2023. 3, 500, quantity sold is 10, date of sale is 26, 03, okay, 2023. This is an example, guys. I'm just taking it. And next, guys, after this, you have the next day data. That is a 2 days day data. So let us do one thing now. I'll take the same records instead of typing it again and again. I'm just taking it. So just changing the data here. Some quantity I'm changing it. Instead of 20 here also, I will make it as 20 standard. And here I will change the date as today's date. 27th, 27th, 27th. 3 dates you have it. 27, 27, 27. Okay, guys, everyone. So this is the data you have it. Now, the supermarket authorities or the supermarket wanted to take some decision on the offers, wanted to introduce some offers, Before they introduce some offer in the market, they want some clarity. That means they wanted to know exactly what is the sales difference between 26th day, 26th and 27th day. They wanted to know what is the sales difference we have between the 26th and 27th day of, what is it, March. Of March. Whether the sales has increased or decreased. They wanted to know whether the sales has increased or decreased. They wanted to know whether the sales has come up and gone down. They wanted to know here. Okay. So, so this particular, based on that, they can perform further, they can introduce some further offers or something to improve the sales. So, okay, that's it. We have it. So, guys, here we have what's that product IDs here. So now, guys, tell me. So to begin with the process, if this job is assigned to you to evaluate and show them the difference between the 26th and 27th of March, tell me now, how do you begin it? First of all, guys, suppose as you wanted to know the sales exactly, the days difference between 26th and 27th of March. Here I have only 6 records are there, but in real, live example, if you go to the supermarket, you will have lakhs of records will be there. Hundreds of transactions may happen every day. Am I right? Tell me now. Hundreds of sales and purchases, hundreds of sales may happen. Am I right, guys? So in this case, guys, tell me now, I want the net sales amount. What is that? Net sales amount day-wise. I want net sales amount day-wise. So to calculate the net sales amount day-wise, do you require the product ID? Tell me now, guys. To calculate the net sales amount day-wise, do you require the product ID? Not really. Do you require the product rate, guys? In fact, you require it. Do you require the product quantity sold? In fact, I require it. Date of sales, this is also essential. So now out of these all columns, I'm selecting only these 3 columns. That means 1 column is not required here for my job. That's it. Now, guys, this is called as what? Picking up the required column is the job called as what? Extraction. Is called as what? Extraction. Then the next one is called as what? Transformation. Transformation. What is your transformation? Guys, transformation is nothing but further you have to make some changes on the data whenever it is required. So as per my requirement, everybody, as per the requirement here, I wanted to transform the data. Transforming means in the required format. To find out the net sales amount, I have to get some things here. What is that? Tell me now. What is that? You require the product rate is there. So tell me now, guys. Product rate. Okay. Product rate is there. What's the product rate? 100 rupees is the product rate. If 100 rupees, with 100 rupees, quantity sold is 10 pieces is sold, what would be the collection they may get it? 100 into 10 means what? Can you tell me, guys? 100 into 10 means what? 1000. Am I right? In the same way.
Yes, sir.
1000. So I can say what's that? 1000. So I can say here 1000. So I can say under the transformation, I can say net. Okay, or else I can say let it be as it is. Let not give any column name. So I'll give it here 1000 rupees as it is. 1000 as it is. Now, when the product rate is 200 and the quantity sold is 20, what would be the net amount you can get it here? Tell me now. 4000. Am I right?
4000.
Yes. When the product rate is 500 rupees and the product quantity sold is 10 pieces, what would be the amount you may have it? Tell me now. 5000. Am I right? That's it, guys. Okay. Again, the same thing here. Tell me now. What is that? Here you have it. Tell me now. 100 into 200. That means 2000 here. Am I right? And 200 into 20 means what? Again, 4000. And now again, what's that you have it? 500 into 20. Tell me, what's it? 10,000. This time it is 10,000. Am I right? So this is the data you have it. Now, guys, this is the actual calculations. You have to find it out. Now you have to find out what is that net sales amount. That means finally, I want a table like this. Net sales amount. And then I want the date of sales. Date of sales. This is the pattern I wanted in finally in the target system. This is the final pattern I would require it in the target system. So can you see? So finally, I'm going with the loading now. So let us see how the loading happens. So now tell me, guys, net sales amount 1000 plus 4000 plus 5000. Tell me now, what is the total amount you may have made? Total amount is what? I can say. Tell me now, guys.
10,000.
Very good, 10,000. And what about this one? 16,000.
16,000.
Very good. So now I can say 16,000, 1600. And now what is the date of sales? Tell me now. This is on 26th of March 2023. And this is on what is that? 27th of March 2023. So this is the way. Can you see here, guys, everybody? So this is the way you have it. That means 26th of March 2023 and 27th of March 2023. Can you see here? These are the, can you see here? The entire 6 lines data I have summarized into how many lines here? Just 2 lines. And based on this data, an analyst or a data scientist can take a decision very easily or perform the analysis very easily and flexibly. So hence, we can say that this data, the data analyst or data scientist will be depending for the data on the data engineering. So in the same way, the Azure data engineer, okay, an Azure data engineer, guys, everyone, an Azure data engineer is responsible to perform the job of extraction, transformation, and loading. It is responsible for what? To perform the job of what is it? Extraction, transformation, and loading. That is from the source to the target. Whatever the extraction, transformation, loading need to be done, that will be done and processed and okay, progressed, everything done by an Azure data engineer. Okay, guys. So by the data, that is nothing but by the data engineer, you can say. Now, further to this, what is basically Azure? We have not understood that still. We know what is ETL, how the ETL works, but still we have not understood what exactly the Azure is. Basically, Azure is cloud service. Azure is what? Cloud service. Guys, what is cloud service? Azure is a cloud service provided by the Microsoft. Azure is the cloud service provided by the Microsoft. Azure is the cloud service provided by the Microsoft, guys. Okay. Azure is the cloud service provided by the Microsoft. Azure is the cloud service provided by the Microsoft. Let us see here. How does it work? Let us see. Azure is the cloud service provided by the Microsoft. Provided by the Microsoft. Now, guys, what exactly the cloud is? So, if you want to understand what is a cloud, then you must and should also understand what is an on-premises, first of all. So, I'll explain you what is on-premises. And cloud. Guys, what is the on-premises and cloud? In simple words, I can tell you, very simple. In a simplified and understanding manner, I can tell you. What is it? Basically, the major difference between the clouds and on-premises is that it is just like you have a mobile phone, you have a mobile phone, everybody is using the mobile phone. In our mobile phone, everyone, tell me now, guys, you have two type of memories. What is that? One is the local memory of your mobile phone, or else you can say SD card. The third one is nothing but that is called as, what is that? You store the data into the Google Drive also. So the Google Drive, you can say, Google Drive is a cloud environment. Getting my point? Google Drive is a cloud environment, and your mobile phone, whatever you have it, that the data is it is called as what? Local. That is nothing but called as what? On-premises data. Now, what is happening here is the local data. Now, even all of us, what we are doing, instead of storing the data in the mobile phone, the photos, your videos, some important notes, etc., you, as you wanted to make them a permanent one. So what you're doing, you're trying to, guys, you're trying to, or we even, okay, I do the same thing. What we do it, we have just moved our data from the local system towards it, from the local, my mobile phone to what is that? Google Drive. So to have it security. But guys, Google Drive is responsible for what? Security of your data. Okay, if you require more storage also, suppose you require some 1000 GB data is required to be stored. At that time, Google Drive will provide you that memory, but for that they will charge you. But by default, what's the free data? They will provide you 15 GB data. You can store it up, isn't it? You can store it to 15 GB. But if it is exceeding that, obviously it will ask you for more. Am I right? So this is how exactly this is going to work out, guys. So what's that? On-premises and cloud. So we can say Google Drive, everything is a cloud environment. On-premises is a mobile. That's it. So we are moving from the local data to the global data. You can say that's it. So the same way here also, using this, what I am doing is from the on-premises system. That means whatever the data currently you have it. Suppose the current system data, whatever the data you have it in my local PC, that we are transferring it from the local PC to what is that? To the cloud environment, the local servers towards a cloud environment for three reasons. What's that? Security reasons, easy accessibility. Okay, security reason, easy accessibility. Anywhere from anywhere, any part of the world you can access. And the third reason is what's that? That is called as what? The storage, this capacity of the storage, you need not worry about that. So for that, we have the following cloud providers provided in are available in the market. What are those? The cloud providers are, the first one we can say the cloud provider is the, okay, the first cloud provider we can say what's that? Azure, Microsoft. Azure from the Microsoft, and from Microsoft we have Azure, or we can say Azure from Microsoft, and we have what's that? AWS, Amazon Web Services from Amazon, and the third one is what's that? GCP from Google Cloud, from the Google Cloud platform from the Google. That's it. These are the things we have it, guys. And this is from the Microsoft. So these are the, apart from this, you have many more, okay, from Microsoft. And apart from this, you have the another one. Many more are there. Oracle is there, etc., etc., etc. Alibaba is there. Many more cloud providers, but these three are right now ruling the market. You can say the market leaders. Azure, Amazon, and Google Cloud Platform. Azure, Amazon, and Google Cloud Platform. So these are three are ruling the market. So what happened is they are providing the services, that is the cloud services, in the form of categories. So they have divided their services into three categories. What is that? The first one is called as a guys EAS, and the second one is called as what? PIAS, and the third one is called as what? CIAS. EAS, PIAS, and CIAS. So first one is called as EAS. EAS stands for what? Infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. Then we have what's that? Platform as a service. Then we have what? Software as a service. That's it. So these are the three services we have it. So infrastructure as a service means what? If at all you require some storage area, that is nothing but some GBs, TBs, petabytes, megabyte, whatever you wanted. That's it. So infrastructure, your RAM, hard disk, everything comes under what's that? Infrastructure as a service, where storage services is provided related to the infrastructure. Platform means what? Operating system. You want the operating system. Suppose you don't want the Windows operating system. You want to change it to the Unix or Linux or mainframes. That operating system, you need not worry. Simply you need to inform your cloud provider. And the third one, what is that? You have SaaS. Stands for what? Software as a service. Means what? Yes, guys. Software as a service means what? The software as a service. Yes, guys. Software as a service means what? Software as a service is nothing but whenever you require some softwares, you need not install them. You need not install them. You need not worry about the license of all this thing. Simply, you need to inform your cloud provider that you require the software and he will make it available for you. That is nothing but you need not buy it. It is just like guys, you have Amazon Prime is there. Amazon Prime is there. Okay. What happened in the Amazon Prime? You want to watch a movie. Simply you can go and watch the movie by taking the premium subscription and come back any number of times during the subscription time. You can watch it. But previously, what we used to have, we used to go to this the music world or somewhere, okay, planet, we had some now. We used to go and buy the CDs. But do we require to buy the CDs now? We don't really require to buy the CDs. Am I right? We don't require to really buy the CDs nowadays. Why? Because everything is on the cloud environment. So now the same Amazon Prime is in the cloud. Simply you need to take the subscription and what are the services you require it. So what is that service you can have? You can have normal subscription with the very, the without free of cost, some movies are provided. And apart from that, if you want some premium movies to view, then what happens? Some premium subscription has to be taken up. That's it. Okay. So in the same way, guys, here we have it. What's that? All the services provided here. Okay. So now what we do is here, Azure is a leader in this providing Microsoft. The Azure is the leader in providing the service of the that is nothing but the cloud service. Whereas, as you know that one of the cloud services what? ETL, that is called as what? Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks, and we use the Azure Databricks to perform the job of ETL. To perform the job of what is it? ETL between what is that? Cloud and on-premises. Suppose here it is in my local computer, it is there. From my local computer, I wanted to move it towards that Azure system. From local computer, I want to move the data toward in Azure system. In this particular form, I want to make it. So for in between, I will using what is it? ETL. And for this purpose of ETL, guys, for this purpose of ETL or to perform this process of ETL, I will be using a service called what is it? ADB. That is called as Azure Databricks. We are going to use a service called what? Azure Databricks. Clear, everyone? So we can say that the Azure Databricks, we are using it in order to perform the job of ETL. So for which we require basically the following languages we use it. We use Python. We use R. use SQL, okay, and Python, R, SQL, okay, and then we can use a scale also. Scale. That means we require the ADB, or we require to use the ADB on all these 4 different languages. So guys, what's that you require? So either okay. So and when it comes to the prerequisites, so guys, you actually need to know this SQL. If you don't know the SQL, I'll be taking up this one class on SQL, how the SQL commands works and all, and the basic class with on the Python. So then we can go ahead with as it is. Okay, 2 classes. If at all you want in more depth, you can just go and learn separately the Python. But I don't think it's as much is required for you to learn it separately. Okay, so without that also you can make it. So that's it about this thing, guys. And now please go ahead. If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay. So the next one is that the classes. So the classes will begin it from tomorrow at 11 a.m. Guys, the classes timings will be 11 a.m., 11 to 12. Okay. Every day, this will be your time. Okay. So this will be the standard time. There shall be mostly no changes in that. Okay. So 11 to 12 will be the standard time. That's what you'll have it. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me now. Yeah. Hello. So that's it, guys. And apart from this, the regular, the course related videos and all these things will be provided to you. Okay. And we are going to see this process in the form of a case studies. In the form of a case studies. So the case studies will see it once we start with the basic things and once we understand the basic language commands and all these things. Okay. So that's it, guys. Thank you everyone for attending this class for demo session. And we will start this classes from tomorrow. Okay. Thank you everyone. I'm ending the class. Bye-bye. So guys, that's it. So you'll have it. Okay. What's that?
Hello.
Yeah, please tell me.
So, when will tomorrow ADF class held at time?
Morning 6:30.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay, sir.
separately link. I'll ask them to share it with you. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.